I was studying in a newspaper report that in every 15-year generation was changing. But due to Industry 4.0 and other things after COVID, I mean post-COVID era, we will face a new change dimension. That is 85% of the job, popular skill, occupation required in 2030 is not present now. That means...
Yeah, this is actually a World Economic Forum report which talked about this. It was not 85%, it is about 60% of the jobs as we see it now will not exist. But the good news in the same report is 60% of new kinds of jobs will get created. And those jobs will have 5 real things. So any job that has an element of empathy, element of emotion will remain. So that is that part of the study. But to carry out the emotions, to carry out empathy, you need to have some expertise. So when I'm saying that you need to become specialists, now I'll tell you what, maybe Mr. Abdin loves the kind of work that he's doing, okay, which is maybe running industries. All right. Dilip here loves the kind of work he does, which is about trying to interact with students and increase their level of knowledge. I cannot survive. Now, you know that with internet coming through, if I'm not better than others, the students can very well go on the net and take a lecture from management guru anywhere. So I have to become best at what I am. For all you know, all the learning might become online completely. There won't be any brick and mortar colleges. Now, if I have to survive in that, then I have to create content which will engage people to come to my lecture. So that is the kind of thing. If you are a carpenter, you have to be the best available there is. And this is going to be a constant upgrade that you will need to keep on taking. You have to keep on finding where I can get more skills. Now that can happen only when you are following your passion. You and I both have worked in the corporate world. Let's take a training program. 80 to 90%, and this is my experience even in Europe. I mean, having worked there and in the Gulf, 80 to 90% of the people who come for training come for it because they think it's a company paid holiday. There are only 10%, who are serious because that is their passion. Now it is this 10% kind of thing that might, but like, let's say for a particular training program, this would be the 10%. For another kind of training program, there will be another 10%. These others will say, okay, let's enjoy ourselves. Let's have a beach resort or whatever. So discovery of that is going to be very important. Somebody might like this, just like tailoring. Nothing wrong with it. You can become a world-class tailor and earn. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. You might get an order from US to custom make a suit for some richy rich. But if that name floats, that's the thing.
So again, branding of your skills and marketing, promotion of your services will be there. And sir, one thing you were asking that XYZ will be specialized in XYZ subject. But in mass scale, if by 2030, 60% job obsoleted and 60% job comes in new. So then reskilling and upskillings will be a very common issue. So in this case, countries like Bangladesh, how government or how private sector institutions should be prepared for that. Because there are many low level workers, they cannot afford their reskilling. But if they don't reskill, then they will be obsoleted, they will be idle, they will be left over.
No doubt about that. This is why I'm saying that if, let's say, the lower down, the people who can't afford huge amounts of money,
Reskilling.
Yeah, for reskilling, they can't afford that money. But if they discover their passion, then everything comes out. In your country, let's take your cricket team, which is, there was just 3-4 years ago, they were thought to be minors, but look at suddenly how they have come out. Many of the players don't come from a very rich background. Okay. But they have struggled through, they have brought out and that focus because they love, that was their passion. And they play with their emotion, not with the skills. The emotion drives their skills. So that is what governments can, if governments can increase, because when I said 60% of the jobs will be gone and 60% that will be created would have empathy and emotions, which means attitudinal, which means belief that I'm good at this and I'm going to be the best. Now, this movement only governments can start. Corporates can't, nobody else can. When we start glamorizing those jobs which we think are nothing, but mean a lot anywhere else in the world, take your textile. Today, maybe a person who opens a textile company, a ready-made garment company, he makes some money. But tomorrow, if that whole thing can be contracted out, try and imagine a situation where whole thing can be contracted out. And this revolution can either start from the supermarkets in Europe and America, or it can start with a youth in Bangladesh. Okay. If he's passionate to become something, then he will find the way to contact those people and say, look, I'm sending you my designs. Look at this. And history is rife with such example, not only during this generation, our generation and generations before us.
So, sir, everything is becoming serious. That 60% job will be obsoleted. Learning new things is a challenge. So we are becoming really very serious. So for lighter mode, could you please advise few skills or few occupations that will be like superhero in coming days, during the gig economy, so that current young generation can learn those occupational skills and they can earn more, serve better?
So I'm saying any job that requires firstly human emotional connect, okay, or the other way to put, any job that requires more empathy than anything else are the ones that will last out in the future. The remaining will be taken by AI and robots. Let's say take 3 decades ago, or maybe 2.5 decades ago, we used to have a position called secretary. And there was a typewriter. So the secretary would type, he or she would type, show it to first take a dictation in shorthand, he or she would type. Today, do we have anything like that? All offices used to have a telephone operator who would screen the call and pass it on to the bosses. Anywhere in the world, do we have that anymore? So just like those went away, the secretary would make mistakes, then type again. We had whiting to rub, etc. Then electronic typewriters came where we could just correct and then retype. Okay. Then came the computer where we could erase and do things. So technology has advanced and those jobs went away because they were basically routine jobs. They didn't require creativity. They didn't require empathy. I mean, creativity can only come out of empathetic behavior. The rest of the job are going to. So let's say a taxi driver's job is going to go away. Okay. It's going to go away because we have self-driven cars. Okay. So if that guy has, and